Here now from our race winner of tonight's 4th annual 5-Hour Energy 400 benefiting Special Operations Warrior Foundation NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race here at Kansas Speedway. That's Jeff Gordon. And Jeff was the driver of the number 24 Exalta Coatings Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. He's joined by his crew chief, Alan Gustafson. This is Jeff's 89th career NASCAR Sprint Cup Series win. His 3rd victory here at Kansas, his first win in 2014. You're our points leader. You're going to be in the chase. And let me ask you this.
Can you guarantee that, Kerry? All right.
Jeff, trust me.
I'll take it.
I think you're good. But seriously, you won the first race here at Kansas. You won the first night race here at Kansas under the lights. How cool is that?
Oh, it's very cool. I mean, this has always been one of my favorite tracks, you know, from that first race. And I don't know what it is about this race team and this racetrack for inaugural events, but yeah, tonight's win was very, very special. Man, and it didn't come easy. This team has been working so hard, and this guy sitting next to me, he's been so driven and motivated, and it's been inspiring to me with the kind of race cars I've had this year. And you know, nothing makes me more proud than when it's all on the line and you get the lead and you got to hold off somebody like Harvick and you get it done. It might have been by inches, but we got it done because, you know, that's what builds momentum. That's what builds a great race team and turns you not only into a winning team, but hopefully into a championship team.
Thank you, Jeff.
Sorry to interrupt you, Kerry.
Sir?
Are you saying Happy Mother's Day to your mom? Is that? Oh.
No, I'm just teasing. Alan Gustafson, congratulations. Big win, as Jeff alluded to, here at Kansas. Had a lot of energy out there tonight, you know, under the lights, winning this race, getting in the chase, points leader. You know, just how big of a momentum boost is it for this race team?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a huge payoff for all the hard work this race team has put in, and really proud of all the guys on the 24 team, and really to take it a step further than that, all the guys in the 524 shop and all the hard work they put in, and we've been so close, had so many good cars, so it was really nice to pay it off, and really proud of them for the effort. And Casey had a really strong run tonight, finished 3rd, so it was really great night for our shop in general.
Very good. We'll take some questions now for either Alan or Jeff. Start here with Dan Gelston.
Dan Gelston, Associated Press. Jeff, that last lap, I mean, did you feel like Kevin was coming on strong? Did you feel like you had enough to hold him off at the end?
Yeah, that whole last run was really strange for me because, you know, I felt like we had a good stop. We came off pit road, and the 4 tires that we took, the car was hooked up right away, and you know, I was excited about that. And then a lap or 2 later, I saw Kevin come off pit road onto the back straightaway, and we got ahead of him, and I knew it was on at that moment. And so I knew I had to push hard, and the car felt good at that time, so I was like, oh, we're okay. And then we had to maneuver through some lap traffic, and he got right to my bumper, but I actually, you know, was able to pull away from him, and I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. You know, he'd been so good all night, and we'd finally gotten the car where I could run the top groove. And so I started to settle in, and right about the time I settled in, I just started getting super loose, especially in 3 and 4, and I didn't know where that came from, but maybe it was traffic. Traffic was pretty tough out there tonight. And so then he caught me, and I got through traffic. He had some trouble, and I pulled away, and, you know, I thought, okay, we're good. And then the car was great. I took off, and all of a sudden got loose again. And so there at the end, I was just trying to stay away from traffic. I didn't want to get closed up on anybody. I just wanted to try to have a clean lap. So I got through 1 and 2 pretty good, but I got over to 3, and the car just went completely sideways on me, and I couldn't get in the gas. And I thought I'd look like a bigger idiot if I spun out leading than you know, just trying to make sure I get back to the line first. And so I gave up some speed there, but we won the race, so it's all good. But no, he was strong and he was coming, and he was so strong on the top side of 3 and 4, and I'm not sure I could have held him off much longer.
Who had the next question? Brett, did you have one? Brett's got one, and then we got John, and then this gentleman here, and Nate.
Brett Williams, Speedway Digest. Hey, Jeff. You became the first driver tonight to have 3 wins here at Kansas. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that this is a good track for us. I mean, you know, you love winning anywhere, but there's just something about this track, the transitions, the shape of the corners. I've just always enjoyed it. Now, when they did the repave, you know, it threw some challenges at me personally that it wasn't my best track, but as it's aged and as we've gotten the cars so good and the tires and everything, it's come back to a track that I feel comfortable at, and so you know, it feels awesome. I mean, it just feels so good to get that first win of the season, especially this year with the point structure, and how close we've been so many weekends. And you know, I think that while that's a huge relief off our shoulder, it's probably gonna just make us that much hungrier to go get that next one.
So does that mean tracks where on the lower surface play to your advantage more?
Absolutely, yeah. Old guy like me likes to be patient and finesse. I say that, but when he gives me cars like he's given me this year, I've been able to be aggressive and drive hard, even on the tracks that aren't worn out, and that's just a sign of the kind of cars that we're bringing.
Go back here to John, and then we'll go to Nate, and this gentleman here, and work our way over. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, Jeff. John Householder, NASCAR Productions. First off, congratulations on the win. You know, kind of as stated already, you're leading the points. You got this win now, so you're going to be in the chase unless something totally weird happens.
See, don't even say that. Why do you got to go there?
Yeah. So how do you use this momentum as you go into the All-Star race? And then you come up on, you know, Coca-Cola 600, the 20th anniversary of your first win.
Well, I just know this race team. I know Alan, the way he leads this team, and just this to me is more motivating than it is. It is a relief, but it's more motivating than that. And I think that it's only going to inspire us to make. We won the race, and we're excited about that. But Kevin was a dominant car. He's been really strong this year, and then there's been times when the Penske cars have been as well. And we got to continue to work and gain and push. And all I know is that by getting this win, it just allows us to focus that much more and fine-tune on what we need to do to go win more and continue to just push as hard as we can to be the best out there.
Let's go to Nate, and then we'll go to gentleman here, and then Jeremiah.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Jeff, I think you said last week something to the effect of you're leading the points in the season when leading the points matters less than ever before. If you want to answer this, maybe Alan too, but like, what's it like to have the relief, even though you're points leader, to get the relief of getting that victory, knowing that at least now it kind of validates and puts you hopefully in the chase versus just kind of the pressure that keeps building? Because I know, you know, Jimmy's kind of in that situation where they've had a lot of winning cars, but they haven't gotten it. Everybody expects they're going to get it, but yet until you get it, it seems like there's a lot of pressure riding there.
Well, I love Alan to talk about, you know, how he's seen it from the team side. I know from what I've seen, that win that Junior got at Daytona and just their approach from that point on, and just being able to roll the dice and be more aggressive, and you know, that first win is so crucial, and it's not a guarantee, but it's almost a guarantee. But I think once you get that first win, it only leads you to the ability to take risks to get the next win.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the biggest thing for us is, you know we've had a good race team, we've had really good cars, and you just have to have that validation and you know, kind of verification you can win races, and we won. Obviously, that helps get you in the chase, but to me, you know, you can't stop there. I don't think you can be so aggressive that you kind of lose, you the art of kind of grinding out races. You still have to win this over 10 weeks, and you're still going to have to win it with consistency. Winning does pay more, but I don't see, one win, just setting you in a position where you can take it easy. I think it's kind of the opposite. I think you're still going to have to push. And the key for us is, and we've been in this situation before, we've had to battle late to get in the chase. We've been in the chase earlier. The key is always to peak at the right time and to get the team in a great position. And that's something that we've got to be very careful of. And I think some of the guys have won. It's tough to sustain ultimate performance over 36 weeks. So we've done a pretty good job over the first part of the season. We've got to be wary that we don't slip and don't get complacent. So when we get into the time that really is going to matter, we're not flat. And I think we've got to be focused on that too.
What he's trying to say is he's going to keep cracking the whip.
Go ahead right here, and then we'll go to Jeremiah.
Jeff, Matt May, 610 Sports Radio here in Kansas City. Along those same lines, obviously tonight, fuel had everything to do with the way this race played itself out in the final laps. I mean, guys having to come in and make final pit stops and stuff like that. Having all but secured a spot now in the chase moving forward, I know strategy can change a little bit. But will you be able to take more chances? Do you see you guys taking more chances from a fuel standpoint, maybe going forward at the end of races now that you don't really have to worry as much about that moving forward?
That's you, man.
You can't, I think the 48, the 2, those guys I know for sure. I can't really think the 11. They couldn't make it. They weren't trying to make it. They were trying to get a caution, and if they had enough cautions, then they could make it and have that track position. So, that was kind of a gamble, but it's not like you just go out there and say, all right, I'm 4 laps short. I'm going to cross my fingers and hold my breath and see if we get it. Like, no, they were just trying to formulate something. And to be honest with you, I don't know that, right, Jimmy did it, he needs a win, and Brad did it, he doesn't need a win. That's not really determining why they use that strategy. It's more about the situation they were in at that point in the race.
So does winning tonight change your strategy at all moving forward? Is that really overrated even all the
I think it's a little bit overdone, but there's going to come a time, where, 2 or 4 tires, or maybe trying to make it on gas, that yes, we'll do that based on having a win. But I'm going to say, if I had to guess, that might be 1 or 2 races.
Let's go to Jeremiah.
I hope it works out and there's 1 or 2 races.
Go ahead, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah Davis, Cedar Rapids Gazette. Jeff, the word retirement has been thrown around mostly by other people, but you said in Victory Lane you feel 25 again. Why is that, and how do you feel now going forward the rest of this year?
Well, I mean, I say that because, the race cars that I've been driving are just making a lot of fun, and I just feel so competitive out there, and that makes me feel young again, and I just see how hard these guys are working. It's making me work harder. I've been really working harder on my fitness, which I think is helping me mentally and physically be more prepared out there. When the cars are that good, my back just doesn't seem to hurt as much. And the whole retirement thing I think is thrown out there too much, and I'm probably somewhat to blame, but there's no secret I'm going to be 43 this year, but man, if 43 is like this, I can't wait for 50. I mean, this is all right. I'm having a good time, so that's why I feel young, because I'm just having a great time.
All right, we're going to take 3 more questions. Anybody have any more questions for Alan? I stand as all right. Let's get those done here so Alan can do a couple things. Go ahead, Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Jeff's already talked about this. Alan, if you will, what was it like for you in that final lap? He takes a white, and then you've got all that time watching everything. What was it like for you?
I mean, really at the end of those races, in the races in the situation we were in where we were leading with not a big lead, but a reasonable lead there at the end, you always want to get the white, because then you're like, all right, well, not going to get into any restart issue or anything like that, right? And then I kind of was a little suspicious from the last run, what I had seen and looked at on the timing and scoring. We were better than Kevin in clean air, but it's tough, always tough for the leader to catch traffic. Even guys who are getting lapped, they're going to race hard because the caution could come out or anything could happen. So I think traffic was the concern, and Jeff alluded to it. And he was trying to manage that the best he could, and we were kind of forced into some traffic. And obviously I didn't know that he had the issue he did getting so loose, but it was a concern. And, you know, Kevin was going to go all he could go, right? He doesn't at that point in time. He's just going to do everything he can to beat us and get back to the flag. So made for a great race. I think if there wasn't traffic there, it probably wouldn't have been as dramatic, but at the end of the day, we won, and you know, it was good that it was close. It was exciting.
Any more questions for Alan? Take this question, and then we'll excuse Alan. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Scott Traylor, Sports Radio 810 WHB and Racing Boys Broadcasting Network. Jeff, people are listening on Sports Radio 810 right now. We're doing the post-race show, and a lot of people are calling in. And I'm just saying,
No,
there's a lot of people that want
Is it a question for Alan?
Yeah,
No, this is a question for you.
Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
It's okay. We're going to
Maybe I didn't
let
start
Alan
off.
go.
Need to start over. Jeff, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
All right.
Go for it.
David Pearson, 105 wins. Do you think you can get there?
I think we can get to 89 because we did it tonight. And, you know, the next one on the list is 90. All I can tell you is the kind of race cars and race team that I have this year tells me, you know, that we can get more wins. And if we can keep running like this, and I want to keep driving and keep winning. But, you know, as good as we've been this year, they've also not come easy. You know, we've had some slip through our fingers, and then tonight went our way, and we got 89. You know, that to me, I've never thought that was attainable. And until we get within a couple, I still am just focused on getting as many as I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any more questions for Alan? We're going to release Alan. Alan, congratulations. We're going to take, I think we've got, Nate has one. Gentleman here. We'll get what we need. Thank you, Alan. Let's go to Jim, Nate, this gentleman here, and then we'll go to press box.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Just kind of following up on finally capturing the win and the excitement that's kind of surrounded. You're heading to Charlotte, place where you won your first race. $1 million on the line next Saturday night, and then the Coca-Cola 600. Could you come in any better way, really, than you are right now?
No, and, you know, it was so cool this past week with Marcus Smith and the folks at Charlotte Motor Speedway and at the Hall of Fame there, you know, commemorating that first win of mine 20 years ago. So, you know, to go through that, talk about, you know, winning this race around 20 years, well, I guess it wasn't 20 years ago, but the first one a long time ago. And, you know, to be able to you look back through my career and have the wins that I've had, and to be able to be this far into my career and be able to get back to victory lane is very special. And then to follow that by going to Charlotte, a place that I love. You know, I love racing at Charlotte, and to be at home. And the All-Star race, you know, is just one of those races where you go all out, and it's more about pride and honor and just, you know, kind of showing your competitors what you can do. And so we're going to be pushing really, really hard to follow this up with a great performance there. Well, if they made the win for the All-Star race count towards the chase, yes. But trust me, dangling $1 million out there doesn't hurt. Listen, there's not a competitor out there on the track every weekend. If it was for $1 or $1 million, they want that trophy. They want bragging rights. They want to make a statement. and they want to go win the race. And so that's what we're going to go do next week, and hopefully we can accomplish that.
Go to Nate, then we'll go to the gentleman here, and then we'll finish in the press box. Go ahead.
It seemed like Kevin Harvick obviously had the fastest car, but there was one point where he got caught in some sort of pit stop sequence, and he was 18th, and you were 19th. I think you guys were stuck there for like 20 or 30 laps. Is that just indicative of this track and the tire, or looking ahead to other mile-and-a-half tracks? Is that going to be what we're looking at again this season, or?
Yeah, I mean, when you have, it's a little bit, I talked about the repave. It's a pretty hard right side tire, and so it's edgy, but lowering the ride heights and just making the cars, the aerodynamic of the cars advancing over the years, it just makes pit strategy that much more important. I mean, track position that much more important. And so the further back you get, the more challenging it gets. And so when you have a good race car, what happens is you can't go all out and push hard in the first couple laps because there's no air there. It's just all turbulent and disturbed, and the car is out of control. So you got to kind of let them get strung out or find some clean air. And that's what Kevin did a really good job of tonight, was he could jump on that outside on the restarts and make more passes than I could. Later in the race, I was able to do that. But so, yeah, it was more about just kind of taking your time, being patient, not getting too much in a hurry. And once he got strung out, you could start picking them off one by one if he had as good a car as I had and Kevin. But yeah, when we got back there and they dropped the green, it was a white knuckle experience, to say the least. And that's indicative of just racing in general, and not just NASCAR, all motorsports. But as the grooves get wider and the track gets more abrasive, and the tracks that we talk about, then you have more options to have cleaner air on the nose of the car and on the spoiler. And tonight on the restarts, when you first took off, there wasn't enough room to just jump up next to the wall to get away from it. So you were sort of bottled up in it for a little while. So some of it's the track, some of it's the tire, but most of it's just aerodynamics in general.
Two more questions, gentlemen here, and then we'll go to the press box for the final one. Go ahead.
Sean Roney, Dos Mundos newspaper here in Kansas City. Jeff, you'd said on television right after you won that I believe you got off to a little bit of a rough start. What was going wrong? Was it strictly the traffic that you talked about earlier?
No, the cautions came out very untimely. I don't know all the specifics, but I think it was our first green flag stop. The caution came out right as I came off pit road, and some cars had not stopped. So then we had to do the wave around, and if I'm not mistaken, it did it again. That happened again for us on another green flag stop, and so we had to do the wave around again. And to do that twice, it shows you how good of a race car we have. But at the same time, those are the breaks that you have to have go your way in racing. And for us, we were fortunate it happened early enough in the race where we were able to recover, as well as have a good enough race car to recover.
Final question, press box.
Jeff, Chris Knight, CatchMess.com. Just wondering if you had a chance to run around Danica Patrick tonight. She had a strong top-10 finish, and what your thoughts were of her performance.
Yeah, I did. She was very impressive. One time I started on the outside of her, and I drove down into one, and she left me, and then she about passed the two cars ahead of us going into three. So it was pretty obvious she was, feeling comfortable, had a fast race car. I think I heard she finished 7th or something. So that's a real testament to her work ethic, her talent, as well as Stuart Haas. Those guys are just really putting out some great race cars right now, and she did a great job. Yeah, so she started behind me on another restart. I had to hold her off. I mean, she was aggressive, real aggressive.
Well, Jeff, congratulations on this win here tonight to the number 24 team, and we look forward to seeing you at Charlotte.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you.